Full disclosure time, guys, I'm not actually a huge fan of Halo. I know that may come as a surprise for some of you, especially with all the hype I've been spewing for Destiny, but it was just never something I got into. I figured, hey, the new Master Chief Keef Super Collection Space Edition is coming out in a few months, so it seems like as good a time as any to alienate a new fan base. So here we go! Honestly, if you would have asked me previously why I didn't like Halo, I probably couldn't have put my finger on it. I was never very good at the games themselves, and as a result got wrecked in multiplayer, but there was something else holding me back. The character Master Chief ruins the Halo series for me. Sure, he plays into the power boy fantasy of going on interstellar adventure to slap alien scum in their mouth jaw parts, but there's just something about the execution that is done so ungracefully that I can't help but be turned off by it. I mean, right out of the gate in the first Halo, you think you're just this soldier in a war bigger than yourself, you need to rise above and become a beacon of hope and save this ship, but nope! Every line of dialogue from the supporting cast is about how huge Master Chief's space dick is, and how it's expected that you're gonna be able to clean all this shit up. And that's cool, guys, I get it. You want us to feel awesome and empowered and badass, but there's this old phrase that's used a lot in filmmaking. Show, don't tell. For me, a game like Fallout or Skyrim where I can project myself onto a character will always be far more satisfying in the escapism department than people telling me how cool I am. In those games, my fears are my character's fears. My goals are their goals, so when I go and find something that I want to do and then I achieve it with my own perseverance and cunning, that makes my brain tingle. When I am Master Chief and I stomp the shit out of some Covenant because some dude tells me I will, that doesn't do anything for me. That's self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like the difference between going on vacation in two locations. The first takes you to a remote island where you can explore and take in the sights as you see fit. The second puts you on a track and takes you through the, I don't know, the Haunted Mansion or some shit. They're both fun escapes, but ultimately crafting your own experience and doing the things at your own pace will always stick with you more. Now, none of this is to say that the Halo games are bad games. I mean, look at those numbers. They have to be doing something right. I would be lying if I said that I haven't played a majority of the games, and from what I can remember, I had a good time while playing. But did you see the key phrase in that sentence? I have no concept of what I played because very little of the experience stuck with me. Every diversion or encounter on the way to the main plot just kind of felt like some wall that needed to be run into a certain number of times before I could advance and completely forget about it. I'm almost certain you could tell me a scenario from one of the first 3 games and I wouldn't be able to tell you which game it was from. My entire experience with the series is a giant blur, and I really feel like that is at least in part because of Mr. Chief himself. So everyone knows Master Chief, right? He's a Spartan, the best at what he does. He rides bombs down from space. Now, none of this is conveyed through the character himself. MC's personality is so bland and lifeless that I feel like someone at Bungie heard you were supposed to make a blank slate character so that players can project onto it, and then didn't bother to characterize him at all. So how do we know all of this? It's because everyone tells us. Seriously, every single character in this game is telling Chief it's all up to him. We don't even get to play the nuke riding segment, which is one of the few things I retained about this series. We are forced to sit and watch a cutscene where Chief makes the choice to do this heroically badass stuff. And by the way, I know there's some smartass out there who's halfway through typing a comment about how I said show, don't tell, but this isn't it. This isn't what I mean. Video games are very unique in that they let us vicariously experience choice. In a movie, the same thing happens every time. The pacing is the same, the characters on screen always come to the same decision through the same processes, but with video games, the designer has the unique opportunity to allow you to be directly in control. The choice is what makes this medium stand out, and while you can't have a completely open ending for the sake of narrative, the way in which you present those restrictions can actually assist in the storytelling process. For instance, in Metal Gear Solid 3, you are the one who takes down the boss, and you have to pull the trigger on her to complete your mission, regardless of how you actually feel about it. In reality, you have to shoot her because that's the way that the game has to go. But the way in which it's presented really makes you understand in the narrative why you have no choice but to pop that chica. I guess my big criticism is this. To me, Halo feels more like a controlled ride at an amusement park than an engaging space adventure. It has all the settings and dressings, but the way in which we are shuffled from set piece to set piece leaves much to be desired. Master Chief is set up to be way too powerful, so there's no way for me to care about his well-being. I mean, it's okay to tell the player they are badass or that they're the last hope or whatever, but when it comes down to it, if they don't feel challenged or like their mission's in danger, they have nothing to be invested in or worried about. Having a godlike protagonist that can and will constantly overcome all odds doesn't raise the stakes at all. It builds no tension, and as a result, nothing feels meaningful to me. I think at the end of Halo 3, I wasn't stressed out about fighting big monster dudes or space rings. I was just like, fuck, I hope I don't drop down this pit and have to start this Warthog segment over again. That was it. That was my biggest fear. Give me a reason to be invested in the character I'm supposedly controlling. If you are going to present a powerful, cool character, maybe throw some adversity at him so we can see some growth. Maybe something goes terribly wrong on a mission, and something that we are in no way prepared for, and the people's faith in MC is shaken. Is he really the one? Did we invest too much money into the baby-stealing power armor Superman method of defending civilization? Can Master Chief rise to the occasion and become the hero we need him to be right now?
Oh wait, no, it's good, he's good. Don't worry about him, he's got a little blue person in his head. He's got Smurfette in his head, he'll be fine. See you in the next game.
Oh, and before anyone says it, no, I haven't played Halo 4, and maybe they characterize John and Cortana more and you actually get a reason to care, but don't you think the 4th installment in a series is a little late to try and get the emotional hooks in me? Like, can you imagine if all of a sudden in the 4th Expendables film they had this deep subplot narrative about Sly Stallone's emotional drive and reasoning? Maybe someone he cares about is in danger, and instead of the rough, violent, and seemingly invincible character we've seen before, we get a man who does not know how to be vulnerable and hasn't felt real fear in decades. We wouldn't have that because it would cause tonal dissonance. They set up their previous movies as explosive fun, so the effects of trying to make their audience care would be lost on people expecting more of the same mindless action. I mean, at least that's how I see it. So that's my thoughts on Master Chief and the Halo series. What do you think? Is Master Chief too infallible to bring tension to a story, or did I miss the point entirely? Go ahead and leave a comment below with your thoughts on everybody's favorite Spartan. And in the meantime, feel free to share and like this video because you
Are our last hope for survival. It is your destiny.